Welcome back to the Damn Yankees podcast, produced by Seven Ashes Productions. It is Tuesday, January 30th, and this is episode 34. 34 episodes. All right. My name is Megan. That's my brother, Ryan. This is our producer and baseball dummy, Cliff, and our guest dummy, Laura Grace. Did I forget to say something, producer Cliff?
You could call off the search. They finally let me out of my green screen dungeon.
Oh.
I have my own seat at the desk now.
Oh, yeah. So he's sitting next to me. I can see him, and there's not a screen dissecting us.
My overseers have been very kind to me.
So he has this. We have this lovely Star Wars background that
it is lovely.
Matches Ryan's Star Wars background.
Yeah. You're the odd one out.
All right. Well, we were back within like a couple of days. So, and funny enough, we didn't think there'd be any news, but there was at least a little bit of news.
News that contradicted our own.
Yes, so we were like, wow, Neris is heavily rumored to be signing with the Yankees, but right before we posted to Pod, he signed with the Cubs. $9 million, 1 year. Heavily incentivized, apparently.
Yeah, I heard up to $23 million, but I'm not exactly sure that if that number is correct. But I heard that there's a lot of incentives with it. So that probably is what pushed it over the edge. But definitely when you hear 1 year, $9 million, you're like, dang, Yankees kind of done something.
Yeah, it has a lot of Yankee fans wondering what went wrong.
So, I heard basically that the Yankees were not interested in. They wanted something cheaper for the bullpen than that.
Cheaper. I mean, cheaper. Okay. I mean, I can understand that with the bullpen, but
yeah, bullpen $9 million is pretty high. But
maybe
it
was the
like
incentives. Maybe it's not the $9 million; it's the incentives, and I don't know what the incentives are. Maybe it's doable to get somewhere near that. Maybe $23 million. Maybe
because $23 million is a lot to give.
That's a lot for a reliever.
Yeah. So $9 million is even on the high side for a reliever. That's not a dated like your expected closer. Which Neris I don't think even would be that. I mean, Neris is very good. He's probably as good, if not better, than Clay Holmes, but we know he's not a everyday closer.
So, well, the Yankees can move on from him because the Cubs have him. And so we're not really sure what happened there with the contract, but maybe Neris just didn't even want to come to New York. Who knows? But they did pick up Matt Gage off of waivers from the Astros, so we did get a former Astros pitcher. He's a left-handed pitcher. Yes, which Ryan reminded me might mean that Wandy is less likely to become a Yankee again, which...
Yeah,
I hope that's not the case, but
I mean, it's not like you can't use three lefties, but and who knows? Maybe Matt Gage isn't. We claimed other guys off waivers, and they're now in AAA. So,
True.
Matt Gage doesn't have a huge sample size when it comes to MLB action.
I don't think I even really. Yeah.
I
know anything about him.
I want to say it's less than 20 games in Major League Baseball, but I could be wrong there. But Wandy, I definitely think is the better option, but if they are looking at other players and they think Matt Gage is it, I just think that that's possible. Yankees side, they might be looking more towards some other guys.
Okay. Well, hopefully Wandy's not out of the question because he's much better and I'd rather him. So, and speaking of claiming people off waivers and DFAing them and then claiming them back off waivers, I guess Greg Allen is back on the team. So and Cliff
Cliff has something he wants to say about that too.
I knew that before Ryan did.
Yeah, it was news to Ryan.
I literally found out as we were getting on this podcast today.
So I had a good couple-hour head start ahead of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I like him. I mean, he's signed to a minor league deal.
Yeah, it was a minor league contract. Yeah, so he's just.
I liked him. I mean, he's some speed, some depth in the outfield.
Yeah, doesn't hurt.
I mean, we lost Bubba Thompson, so I mean, he was kind of supposed to be that depth speed guy, and now bring in Greg Allen. True. So it kind of makes sense how they did that.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it since last time, and of course, now that Neris isn't there, there's new rumors. The one rumor that we didn't add to our list that we can kind of get out of the way, or not rumor, but that the Yankees, did we say this last pod, that the Yankees were the only offer to Snell?
And I think we had mentioned that we heard about it. Is that confirmed that we were the only offer to Snell?
Yeah, I think multiple people have now said it. That I don't know. So I'm saying it's confirmed, I guess, since multiple more trusted people had said it. And then
and there's also rumors that the Yankees are out on Snell.
So. Yeah, so Hal has said that he's out on Snell. So who knows?
Now, was that Hal said that specifically, or is that a
I don't know. I saw
Michael
it on
K.
a graphic
said and someone else said that Hal said that.
Yeah, I have no idea actually where that comes from. I saw it on a graphic, so it means it's true. But
but that's how we convey news now.
Yes. So, admittedly, I did not dig into it. I just saw Hal says that we're moving on from Snell, and so who knows? I mean, basically, I didn't look into it because it all doesn't matter. Like this,
I mean, all of it is
techniques, and
all of it is negotiation techniques. For example, another rumor I don't think that we listed down is Cody Bellinger is apparently rumored to be in talks with the Yankees, which makes no sense. I don't really see how that works.
Where does he fit?
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously, to me, he's better than Verdugo is.
Sure.
And he's more of a true center fielder. Okay, I get that. However,
Verdugo.
Verdugo. Are you trading Verdugo? Because Verdugo is not really a guy you can keep on the bench. You traded pieces for him. They've already done a press conference with him.
Yeah.
They gave him a number.
He just put out his number and
he shaved.
Nice little graphic.
I don't think you can trade him after he shaves.
Yeah, not after you saw that face. Like, I know I said it was better, but his beard was really scraggly. It was just bad.
Yeah. So I don't see the rumors with Cody Bellinger, but the reason why I think that they're out,
came from.
I think that they're out because Scott Boras.
He's his client
no one's
too.
offered him. No one's offered him, and so I think Scott Boras said to somebody, the Yankees have been in talks with my guy, so that other teams would be like, "Oh,
yeah." Well, also who hasn't gotten any talks is Matt Chapman, he hasn't gotten any official offers apparently. So weird free agency.
Yeah, it's very odd free agency
with these kind of names not getting any kind of bites.
I honestly think a big part of it is some of them are in that middle ground when it comes to age or consistency.
Well, Snell asking for 9 years is laughable.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
So
I know that his contract is coming. His free agency is coming 4 years after Cole's. But
sure, it sucks that that's how old he is. But he's 31 now, right? And you're asking for 9 years. You want us to pay you as a 40-year-old? Like, you got to be realistic. No.
So, I'm not entirely surprised if these are what the players are asking for. I don't know what Matt Chapman's asking for, but again, he was another one that was rumored last week that the Yankees are in on him. One that I can see more plausible than Cody Bellinger at this point.
Sure, yeah.
Just because there are needs in the infield, but he's better than DJ. But with what he wants, I don't know. So I feel like a lot of people are in that same. A lot of teams are in that same boat, and so until somebody gives, these guys are not going to sign until we're getting closer to. When players meet.
Yeah, a report. Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so there's more rumors now. So you've heard.
Yeah, something more confirmed, I guess. Something more solidified than we saw in a graphic somewhere is Noah Syndergaard is having a bullpen session, and the Yankees, along with 14 other teams, are said to be there. Because they are interested in signing him. I don't think that that's as groundbreaking as it would have been in 2019 when it comes to Syndergaard. He's a decent pitcher, left-handed pitcher that I could see them getting and kind of competing with Weaver for positions as a sixth starter or something. But is he going to be the guy that, we've been saying that it would be really nice to get another starting pitcher into our rotation? I don't think he's that guy that we're going to get signed and we're going to be like, yep, we
I
found
don't know if
our
it makes you
man.
feel better. Yeah, right. I don't think it moves the needle to making you go, okay, rotation set now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hadn't heard about the Noah Syndergaard thing, but yeah, you're right. Like if this was a few years ago, this would be awesome. But in the last few years, he's been pretty unimpressive.
I mean, I think when he moved to the Phillies last year, he did decently well.
Okay, I must have missed that improvement.
Low end.
He was with the Angels, right?
He was with the Angels, got moved to the Phillies, and then played in their. He was with the Mets originally. He went to the Angels, signed with the Angels last year. Obviously, the Angels were awful, and they traded him to the Phillies.
I guess that's what I'm remembering. But yeah.
And yeah, he wasn't good with the Angels. I'm pretty sure that I could be completely wrong. I know at some point he was with the Dodgers, but I think that was years before. And then I'm pretty sure he went from the Dodgers, signed with the Angels in the offseason last year, traded to Phillies, and he was part of their postseason run this year. And he did better when he was with the Phillies. But again, I don't think it's groundbreaking. I think he fights with Luke Weaver for a sixth starter role at this point. And then outside of that, I think we're looking at the same, because we have to pivot from Neris. We were just talking about that. Last week we talked about Phil Maton, Ryan Brazier, Wandy Peralta as kind of the other names, and I haven't really heard any new names in there. I know Yankee fans want Phil Maton. I know Megan wants Wandy Peralta.
I want Wandy.
And no fans want Brazier, but I'm hearing that that's the team that's the person the Yankees want the most.
Yeah.
So,
we'll see. We'll see if any other names are added to the board. Wandy was apparently talking to the Mets, or at least the Mets are rumored to want Wandy.
Oh, of course they are. The Mets are like, I feel like the Mets are that team that just tries to get all the scraps up from the Yankees. Like, hey, it didn't work here, so why don't you come here? Like, they're just trying to get like the bingo card of former Yankee players to sign.
Yeah, we said it on the last pod too. It's like you like the city, you don't want to leave the city. We've got second option over here.
They don't have to go too far.
Yeah, they said it similarly on the. I was watching the Talking Yanks Boone Talking Yanks Boone, pod or whatever. Bantering with Boone.
Bantering with Boone.
That's right. So
I did hear. I didn't really see it, but I heard that it's confirmed that he's going to be back all season.
Yeah, so he'll have his weekly, I guess, right? Little managers like showdown with.
And he said he won't be sitting crisscross applesauce anymore during those. I did see that.
Oh, did he say that? That's funny. I know they brought up. Apparently, that's their highest watched clip last year, and it's of him. Apparently, he was trying to charge his iPad because he didn't have
Boone's
another
just
outlet
like the
closer.
rest of us.
Yep. Oh, in awkward positions, trying to charge your devices and use them at the same time. So he was on there. They mentioned that, and Boone seemed to agree. He's like, kind of was like, I hear you about all the former Yankees on the Mets.
Oh yeah, that's kind of funny.
Total little brother attitude right there. Anyway, Boone did say some other things. I guess Boone said stuff on the pod, their pod, just that was relevant from what we talked about last week. They did ask, Soto did play in 162 games last year, so he played in every single game, which is very un-Yankee-like. So Boone was asked about, will Soto be in every lineup? They were having a conversation about him playing with the lineup and, many different ways that he could do that now that he's got all the lefties that he wants. But he said, quote, "I hope so, that Soto is in everyday lineup." So hopefully that means, I'm going to infer it in the optimistic way, that he's not going to get a rest day every 4 games or something. He is young, so hopefully they'll treat him more like they did with Volpe last year. And
Volpe played over 155 games. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, he played high 150s. I know. Pretty sure. Only rested
It was very rare that he was out.
Yeah, agreed. To the point where he was out and you're like, oh no, is everything okay? And I'm like, oh no, he's fine. We're just actually giving him a rest day. But so yeah, so that's good news. Glad they understand that Soto's young and can play every day.
And I like that. I mean, that's part of the reason to get Soto too, and to get him to that deal that they need to get him to, is that he's what the Yankees need. He's a guy who gets on base. He's a guy who will hit for power on the lefty side. Like, those are all things we obviously need. But on top of that, he plays. Like, how many players do we have outside of Volpe who played more than 80% of the games last season? So having somebody like that, and again, a big reason why re-signing is so important, like re-signing him is so important, is because he checks all those boxes that we don't have on the team.
I mean, he would be a great extended signing, whatever. So anyway, he also talked about the lineups and his everything that he was thinking about, and he put heavy emphasis on the leadoff position. He knows everybody was saying that, where does Soto and Judge go? And it sounded to me that he didn't care. It was either 2 or 3, 3 or 2, or, whatever, you know what I mean? And what mattered most was leadoff position being productive and hitting over 350. So it sounded like he had actual goals and not just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do good today, guys. Or, it sounded like he was open to platoon, because that's just kind of what the Yankees do. But, and especially with left, right, you're going to have to play with that. But it did sound like he wanted a solid person there. He wanted somebody to take the leadoff spot and be that person that could be productive and, get on base for Soto and Judge to mash him in. So that was, that was good to hear. I don't know what else he was going to say, but it was good to hear him say that. He also kind of indicated that his leadoff people would be DJ or Verdugo possibly, and then Volpe would only be an option if he kind of grew into that later in the season. And
anything about
Gleyber
Torres?
Didn't really.
No,
he didn't really mention it. He mentioned him offhanded, kind of. Didn't really. So
yeah, which I feel like makes sense. I mean, I know I put Gleyber as my 1 in my right, left, right, like starting with the righty lineup, mainly because I'm not too sure if DJ can really hit on base percentage 350 anymore.
Yeah.
But I also understand on the Torres side, I don't think that optimally for Torres, he is optimal in that leadoff position. I definitely think that if Rizzo is not peak Rizzo that he was before his concussion, Torres is our best hitter outside of Judge and Soto, and so you kind of want him
backing them up,
Soto in the lineup.
And Gleyber is more comfortable not lead off. Like, I feel like he's more comfortable after he's seen a few pitches and
seen some guys.
He's in the rhythm
attack.
in the game, and I don't know. I do not have stats to back this up, but I just feel like he did not excel well as leadoff hitter last year. So I know I looked him up last.
Podcast.
Kitty, our kitties was around here somewhere, but I did actually look them up
last week. So
that's right. So I got Pumpkin in there this time. I looked him up. Gleyber didn't have, like, Verdugo had the best stats, and then DJ, and I think it was then Gleyber out of
leadoff
Verdugo,
positions.
DJ, Gleyber, and Volpe as hitting leadoff last year. I think is what I looked at,
which makes sense. I mean, Verdugo should definitely be. You would think I think he was your choice for leadoff, and I think that makes sense. It's just if you want a lefty leadoff. If you're going to have Judge batting third, you're going to need a righty. You're going to need a righty leading off, and that's kind of the deal. But I think from what you said, Soto's open to being in third, and I'm sure it depends on who's pitching during the day. They're probably going to want a more heavily right-handed lineup when a righty is up, and a more lefty heavy when
lefties on.
Sorry, I said it the other way. When a lefty's up, a righty heavy lineup. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, so it's going to change
about.
depending on who is pitching that day, I'm sure. And we talked about it last week, too. The reason why we had 4 different lineups just between ourselves is because we know Boone is he has 162 different lineup combinations.
Yes, he will
year,
use
so.
them for sure. And yeah, he did say that spring training is what is for, like working out who goes second and third and making sure that Soto kind of feels comfortable in either second or third. And, he's open to either. That's what he said. So he also mentioned that Grisham would play a ton in the outfield. So, that didn't mean that he was going to start a ton, but he would play a ton. I just thought that was interesting that he felt he needed to say that. And then otherwise, like, he gushed about Austin Wells. So if he proves over spring training in the early parts of the season to, be that guy that they saw at the end of the season, I'm sure you're right, Ryan, that he'll become the kind of more prevalent everyday catcher. And Trevi as like the veteran support behind him. But that was pretty much it.
It really very well could be that Wells and Trevino are going to split games too. I definitely think part of that Boone isn't going to disrespect his veteran guy, and especially a guy like Trevino who is well liked within the organization itself. So on a podcast like that, you're not going to hear him say the Yankee way. You're not going to hear him say, "Yeah, he sucks. I like Wells more." No. But it is telling when he says how much Cole likes him, when he says that, he really likes what he's seeing out of Wells. I think one of the things, too, that gets brought up, not only how he calls games, but even just the way he sees the whole game in general. A lot of people talk about how well advanced he is with that. I mean, again, we talked about it last week. We make a joke about it. I have a t-shirt about it. His chicken parm is what fixed Anthony Volpe's season last year. So when you got someone like that who can be a secondary batting coach and he's a rookie, that's pretty impressive from a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Boone mentioned all about the Wells's love of the game and his love of process and making a game plan, and how Cole was impressed with him, and so like I say, he just gushed about Austin Wells. So, which I'm excited to keep seeing that. If
we need it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was pretty much it. Oh, there was a question from the audience that was kind of snarky about wondering why we're not as tough or play today, win today mentality that the 1996 Yankees specifically had with Joe Torre, and I think he specifically mentioned.
Did they mention Jeter's old comment of not winning the World Series is a failure?
No, he didn't mention that. He did mention specifically Scott Proctor throwing 80 games. And I thought, so Boone had kind of a tough face on when he was asking the question, but I thought he handled the question pretty well, because he has been asked probably several times, why aren't you tougher?
I would say baseball is also you don't see that in baseball in the same way in general.
You don't grow up. I mean, yeah, to be fair, everybody.
For example, what was his name last year? Josh Hader last year sat out, he refused to play in a game because they were trying to send him out too early, and he's like, no,
he wanted to be ready for the. Yeah, that's right. Yes, and it was wait, what? Okay.
Yeah. And it had definitely a big mixed response between young fans who are like, no, he's right. What the hell's the point? He's using him in a way that he's not used to, and the player knows his body or whatever. And older players are like, no, you do what you're told to do. I used to, I can just hear Goose Gossage right now saying, I used to close out games,
whatever
3 innings at a time.
Mo has come in the 8th inning before, and
I remember Goose Gossage complaining a lot about Mo, though.
Oh, sure, because Goose is just,
Goose is Goose.
he's a back in my day, this is how it was kind of guy. So and he's Goose Gossage.
He does.
So what are you
he
gonna
doesn't
argue
think
with?
Mo Rivera's save record is should be an ash. I remember him saying something like he doesn't like his save record because there wasn't a 9th inning only guys back then.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. Oh,
but anyway,
Goose with the T. The sass anyway. So the guy asked about what? The guy basically just asked like why the Yankees just don't seem tough, and Boone basically said that he thought they were, and that I don't know, the way he answered the questions just seemed more like he actually held himself a little bit responsible. He was like, it's our responsibility to show you guys that we're tough. We're going to put that out on the field. We're going to show you that we're tough or whatever. So I don't know, that sounded a little better, and maybe the Boone that the players are more used to hearing, because the players love Boone and we all hate him, but I know players love
and that's that kind of thing that, if you remember a while back, I kind of made a comment like, well, maybe the Yankees need like a Ted Lasso type, and you said, well, that's Boone basically. And I think that's like a Ted Lasso type response that he's holding himself accountable and defending his players, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and what I meant then was that Boone was basically doing everything that fans hate about Boone is kind of a positive for Ted Lasso. So like that's what I'm like. They already have it. I wish it was like Ted Lasso, because Ted Lasso, like,
to be fair, we as
ends
an
up getting
audience
a lot
watching
further.
the show love him, but he also gets called a wanker by his fans.
Right, that's true. He gets played good. So that's true. That's fair. That the rest of the fans, but I think the fans also kind of like him too. I don't know. He also does the same kind of thing.
Well, they like him when he starts to win.
Yeah, right. And he also sits in pubs and answers questions of fans, and
Yeah. he is a bit more accessible.
He sits on Talking Yanks, so I guess that's with the podcast.
I mean, he sits at a table at a bar and he's answering questions. Yeah, on Talking Yanks, but
yeah. LG just said the same thing.
Oh, on the podcast. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess there are more similarities than even I guess I was thinking about at the time. It was more of the quote unquote milk and cookies Boone that the fans talk about. And why wouldn't a Ted Lasso, or I think we tried to talk about before, like, would that work?
Right. Would that work in real life? Would a Ted Lasso like actually create winning seasons for the Yankees?
Okay, well, I mean, you can also think about who has won the World Series for other teams, and I'm not, the Braves is not a Ted Lasso type manager. I'm blanking on his name.
Bruce Bochy isn't.
Yeah, Bruce Bochy is not a Ted Lasso type manager of the Rangers. So I guess, can it work in your job, and can you be liked by your players? Yeah.
Can you improve a team? Yes, because as of right now, Ted Lasso hasn't won a championship outside of D2 college football.
Right. Ted Lasso has not won a championship. There is rumored season 4. That's why
there is.
So,
but I don't think Ted Lasso is going to be part of it.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Okay. Well, but anyway, back to the Boone thing. I think that it can work based on, like, the players will really like you as a manager, and you can grow your players as people and get the best out of them as you can. But in New York, that is not going to come across as you wanting to win. That's coming across as coddling. And so that's why Boone has a bit of thick skin. He might come across as a dumbass, which I kind of think
Ted Lasso
you made it very clear that the coddling is frowned upon in the Bronx.
What?
You've made it very clear that the coddling is frowned upon in the Bronx.
Well, coddling is frowned upon in the sport in general. I mean, you grow up. I think that's the difference, probably, what people see growing up playing baseball, playing softball, and I don't remember being coddled playing baseball or softball.
There's no crying in
Yeah.
baseball.
Well,
there's
and I
no
think,
crying in
again,
baseball.
I think going back to the Ted Lasso show, again, we as an audience watching it love Ted Lasso, but it really does take him winning and showing the product on the field working for them to love it. When they're losing in season 1, and for anybody who's watching the show, but when they're losing in
Spoilers,
season
sorry.
1 and eventually get relegated, which basically in MLB terms is like finishing dead last, except you don't get a reward first pick out of the draft out of it. You get sent to the minor leagues in a way.
Yeah.
They hate him. They want him out of town. The owner decides to keep him around, and they start off struggling again, and they continue to hate on him. They continue to call him a wanker and all these other things. And we're allowed to say that in America. It's not doesn't sound as bad.
I think it's fine.
So would y'all call Boone a wanker?
Well, they
no,
call
we would
him
have
worse
much
things.
worse.
They have worse things that they
We have
call him in
worse-
America.
Yes.
But
some choice words for him. Yeah.
yes. So our cat's being a jerk.
Oh no!
He's being a cat and trying to
You're
knock
knocking
things
stuff over. Oh
Knocking
no!
things over.
Oh,
He wants
pay
his
attention
attention.
to me. Yeah.
We just got a new dog, funny enough, named Lasso.
Oh, that's why he
and
wants all
so-
the attention.
Yeah, so he's grumpy.
Yes.
Um,
yes. Oh,
But anyway, you can tell I'm a Lasso fan. We both are.
Yeah.
But
the puppy is very cute.
he doesn't start to be liked by the fans until they start to win, and his method of coaching gets the best out of his players, and then of course he gets the best out of the players in their life situation, and of course that translates. I mean, that's the whole Lasso way. Is
Right.
he gets the best out of them out in their personal lives, and that in turn translates into positive play on the field. Can that work? Possibly. I mean, I don't know specifically. I'm sure there are examples of coaches who do this in other sports, maybe not even MLB.
I think it has more of a chance to work in the college setting. I mean, maybe I'm just being stereotypical, but I
can give an example for professional sports outside of America, though, because Lasso is kind of a mix between two really big time coaches in Premier League, which is Pep Guardiola, who's the head manager of the Manchester City team, and Jurgen Klopp, who is the manager of Liverpool. Both guys are very much, we want to see the best out of our players, and that in turn will, they're very team player friendly people. Now, the difference between these two guys and Ted Lasso is they are both geniuses when it comes to the sport.
where Ted Lasso was.
Where Ted Lasso is not.
Yes. Doesn't know what the offsides rule is.
Right.
He eventually gets it.
Yes. Our cat is roaming around.
Yeah, and our cat is too. LG's trying to rein him in. Here,
this
give
is
it
not
to me.
the cat pod, guys. No.
Well, I hear yours.
Yeah. She's over here on the stool.
So anyway, can it work? And can the fans get behind him? Yes.
But they got to see
if
the
they
product
start to
work.
win. Yeah, if they start to see him win, and he wins 28 again, just as we said last week about Stroman being a legend for the Yankees. I mean, if the Yankees win a World Series this year with Boone as a manager, he will be loved by the Yankees.
Everybody loves Boone. Yeah.
That's just as simple as it is.
At least nobody hates him. Yeah. I mean, that's all that, that's why you're playing. Everybody wants to win. So.
How long do you think that method would take to show the results?
I don't know.
Boone has had 3 years.
As I say, Boone has had 5 years with the Yankees, and in those 5 years, he's declined every single year.
Yes.
So not looking good for showing us that his methods work.
Yeah, not so far.
I mean, he's, you could add in to be fairs here and there, injuries and whatnot, but yeah, he's had 5 years to make it work, and I haven't seen it, so I really hope that this year's different.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no saying that just because it doesn't work with Boone doesn't mean that someone else
true, yeah.
doing similar methods
Someone
that
more
Ted Lasso
competent,
has
maybe.
that can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what
Right.
it takes. For the Ted Lasso way for people to like it is they have to win. I mean, that's kind of, I feel like in general for any style of sports to work, if you're a bully coach and you're not getting results, then people are going to say that you're too much of a bully and people don't want to work with you and you lost the locker room and you're such an a-hole coach. But when you start to win,
then
changes the narrative.
Then it's just you're being tough. I mean, yeah, you got Urban Meyer, Urban Meyer with the University of Florida,
The Jaguars.
Urban Meyer with the Jaguars.
Right.
Same person, different
Same
atmosphere.
Yeah. So winning is the key.
Yeah, winning is the key usually to how fans perceive you at the very least. And yeah, the locker room perceives Boone as their guy. And Judge, when given the opportunity to defend either Boone or Cashman, he was all in on defending Boone, and everyone pretty much follows suit behind Judge. And to be fair, I mean, maybe this does work. Maybe he's got the right set of people. Half the Yankees have shown up early to Tampa to start working out, and they have another 2.5 weeks before they have to report to camp, or 3 weeks till they report to camp. And they're already, a bunch of them are already down there. So I don't know. Maybe that kind of helps keep them motivated, helps them show up, keeps the hunger. I don't know. I want it to work. That's all I care about.
All right. Well, I got a little not moving on, but kind of along the lines of Lasso. I got Megan and I put together a quiz for our 2 dummies here. We've actually done this once before, but I guess we never aired it.
Let's see what other things I know that you don't, Ryan.
I was going to say they're baseball
There's
dummies.
plenty of things. Baseball dummies. I'm sorry.
They're smart in other things.
I knew something. Yeah. I knew something for Pod that you didn't.
Yeah,
He's going to remind you about that for a long time now.
But
as you should.
Fair.
But yes, we've done this quiz before with our baseball dummies, minus the Greg Allen post.
We haven't posted it.
We've never posted it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Spoilers.
So, but we're doing it for the second/first time today. But anyway, so this is kind of how we mentioned it before. Ted Lasso doesn't know what offsides mean, as well as, I think as he puts it, you can fill 2 whole internets with what he does not know about the sport of soccer. And so
2 whole internets. Can you guys fit 2 whole internets on what you don't know about baseball? Or I think it's less.
LG feels
close, yeah.
pretty close to that.
1.5.
Yeah. She knows more about football now that Taylor Swift has
for sure.
become part of it. She knows football pretty well.
I keep seeing go around Twitter that we need a pop star. Like, hey, baseball players, quit marrying at 20 years old because we need a pop star to make our sport famous.
Yeah,
that would work.
I heard someone say Volpe and Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm sorry, but Vanessa Hudgens was dating Cole. What's his name? Cole. He played for the Pirates. This is the point. Like, it didn't matter. It didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything, I guess.
Vanessa Hudgens wasn't Taylor Swift, though.
Yeah, she was not. I mean, she wasn't.
But I was going to say that it'd probably take 2 whole internets to explain to me, like, why it's a jinx when I do it, but not when you do it.
I do it correctly. I don't know what you're talking about, but like
anything that you claim is a jinx.
No, you try to say the outcome before the game is over, and you're not allowed to do that if you expect things to go smoothly.
See my face?
Whatever. We have questions
right.
for you, and I hope you don't get any of them right. I hope
Okay,
LG
good, good.
wins.
All right. So the way we'll do this is we can just ask the question. You guys can answer it, and then you guys can both give an answer. And at the end, we'll tell you how many you got right. Is that best way?
Sure, or do they like raise their hand and see who answers for who did it first?
Is it multi-choice or?
Yeah, it's multiple choice.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
we should have
multiple
figured
choice.
out the rules before we
Yeah.
started recording.
Let's let them both give an answer, and then
Okay.
we can reveal it, and then just give them a
Okay.
point.
Yeah, that sounds good.
as we
Okay.
go.
That makes
All right.
sense. Okay, so there's 15 questions, so you have a
15
possible
questions
15.
ranges from easier to hard.
Yes.
So, all right, I'll go first.
Okay.
That's first.
Works.
All right. So, for a batter, how many balls until a batter is walked? Is it A, 3, B, 4, C, 5, or D, 6?
Who goes first?
I don't know. Okay.
Let's go LG first, then Cliff first, and when Megan asks a question, Cliff, then LG.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So you go first.
All right, I'm gonna say 3.
So you say A, Cliff says
B.
B. It is B. 4
It is
balls for a walk. All right.
I'm
So that's
check
1
that
point to
on
Cliff.
the side. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. Second one. Where do pitchers need to throw the ball for a strike? Is it A, the ball zone, B, the batter zone, C, the strike zone, or D, the danger zone? Cliff was the answer.
I'm sorry. Which one was C again?
C was strike zone.
Yeah, it's C.
And LG.
C. Strike
Yes.
zone.
Oh, it's not the
Alright,
danger
so-
zone?
No, it's.
You were...
I don't understand why you're insulting my intelligence like this.
I'm not insulting your intelligence. Shut up. We said they go,
This is
go
the
from
easy
easy
parts.
to hard.
These are the easy
Jeez.
ones.
I'll
That's
say.
why.
Take
Alright.
advantage of the easy
So
questions.
it's
Yeah,
it's
you have to
1
build up.
2.
This is like
Cliff.
games in April. They matter. You have to win.
Got it. All right.
All right. So, question number 3. How many players are typically in the outfield? Is it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4,
looks worried,
or D,
folks.
5? How many players in the outfield? 2, 3, 4, 5. She's doing the math in her head. Insert that meme with all the graphics going by from
Yeah.
that.
I'm just trying to
Need my-
picture looking at the
Need my
field.
abacus.
All right. What do you think?
I never remember which one's A. That's a good one. 4,
Oh.
I think.
I hope
Four
people are actually like
outfielders.
yelling at
Okay.
their YouTube screen when they watch this.
Maybe they are. all 10 people
Cliff.
who watch.
I'm sorry, what?
Cliff, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 for outfielders.
5.
Outfielders?
5 outfielders.
In a
4.
typical day? In a typical lineup?
What?
Day?
4.
Okay, no, it's
Okay,
3.
you're both wrong. It's 3. Left field, center field, right field.
Are you
Oh,
thinking of slow pitch softball where we get 4 outfielders? You must
Maybe.
be. Those are beer leagues.
All
That's
right,
why
so
you
none
get
of
4
you
outfielders.
got that one right. So it's still 2-1 Cliff.
All right, next one. What is it called when the batter hits the ball outside the field of play? Is it A, a foul ball, B, no man's land, C, out of bounds, or D, a home run?
outside the field of play.
Outside the field of play.
Foul ball.
Okay. What do you think, Laura Grace?
A foul ball?
That is correct.
All right, that is correct. 3-2 Cliff.
All right.
All right, question number 5. This is the last one of the easier questions.
Oh,
All right.
dun.
So, how many bases are there on the field, including home plate?
4.
Sorry, 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
4.
4.
Cliff?
4.
4. Okay.
Good job. Good job.
All
I
right.
thought this was a trick question. Like, does the mound count?
I'd be worried about
It's not a
the
base.
count.
Like the little.
It's just a rubber piece. It's not a base.
Okay. I thought it was a question meant to trip us up or something.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you?
LG said the same thing.
Yeah, if he had put 5 in one of the options, I'd be questioning myself a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, it is 4. So both of you got it right. So it's I think it's 3-4.
Made it
4
through
to
the
3.
easy
Cliff.
round.
Okay.
Megan, I think you got the first question on the medium.
All right. How many outs are there in one inning? Is there A, 1, B, 3, C, 6, D, 10?
6.
What is your answer? Sorry.
6.
Okay. How many outs in
1,
one
3,
inning?
6, or 10?
Yeah, 6.
That is correct.
All right.
I feel
3
like you
in the
just got me
top and
first.
3 in the bottom.
I was first. 1, 2, 3, 6. You're out, and then you've got 2
half innings. There you go.
Yeah, so
Yep,
Yeah.
it was only medium because
Very
it was
good.
supposed
She
to
was
be a
just
trick
doing math.
question off of half inning versus a whole inning.
and then double checking myself like 5 times.
All right, so good job.
Where's the
So
trick?
that's
Where's the trick?
Yeah.
4 to 5 now.
Okay.
All right. So, what is it called when a pitcher makes an illegal motion? Is it called A flinch, B, a balk, C, a shutter, or D, a stall? You first.
Can you say those one more time?
Flinch, balk, shutter, stall. When a pitcher makes an illegal motion.
I'm gonna say balk.
Balk. Okay. LG says balk. Cliff?
Oh, Cliff.
Balk.
All right. Good job, Walker. I'm sorry Cliff knew it.
I did.
All right.
Okay. Number 8. How many foul balls is a batter awarded before he's called out? Is it 7, 10, 15, or unlimited? You go first.
7.
Okay. And lower grades, how many foul balls until they're called out? 7, 10, 15, or unlimited?
10.
Mm-mm.
No, you're both wrong.
Is it unlimited?
They can keep hitting foul balls until the sun
Damn it, that didn't
comes
sound
up.
right.
Yeah. There's no limit to foul balls.
No limits to foul balls.
Yep.
You would think there would be.
All right.
Yeah, but nope.
So,
Yeah, no, I mean, someone gets tired, someone loses, but yeah, you can hit as many as you want.
keeping on that same path, question number 9. If a batter bunts the ball with 2 strikes and it goes foul, what is the correct call? Player runs to first as all bunts are in play after 2 strikes. B, bunts are not allowed in baseball. C, considered strike 3 and the batter is out. Or D, the count remains the same.
I'm gonna say it's an out.
It is you saying C, it is an out.
Yes. Okay.
So it's a bunt. There's 2 strikes. It goes foul.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
What's the call?
What happens
Basically,
next?
can he run to first? It's not allowed anyway. It's an out, or the count remains the same.
I'm going to say the count remains the same.
Ooh, LG got one back on you. It is now tied 7-7.
And I only know this because Mike was talking about it the other day.
I was going to say it was, right?
Yeah, it did come up about Kayla. Our niece
funny.
played softball.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kayla if you're listening. She was an excellent bunter in softball, and Mike trusted her so much when she was playing that he would have her
Call
bunt
it
on
on.
2 strikes.
Yeah, she was successful.
And also, for all of our Banana Baseball, Savannah Bananas baseball fans out there, if we were talking about banana ball, answer B would be correct. Bunts are not allowed, but we're talking about.
Oh,
MLB
really? I
rules.
didn't know they weren't allowed in Savannah baseball.
Savannah Banana Baseball.
I thought what was it? Player was at first is all bunts are in play after 2 strikes. That's hilarious. That sounds like kind of like a basketball rule almost. Like it, like you bunt it behind you, and you're like, okay, run to first base.
I was trying to do the opposite of the correct
of what
answer
the
there.
makes sense.
All right.
Last
of the medium questions.
Number 10.
Tied 7-7.
It's getting interesting. If a ball bounces in between the foul poles and then over the fence, what is the ruling? Is it A, an automatic double, B, a ground rule single, C, a home run, or D, a foul ball?
Double.
Double?
Do it one more time, please.
That's okay. Yeah, if the ball bounces in between the foul poles and then over the fence, what is the ruling? Is it an automatic double, a ground rule single, a home run, or a foul ball?
I'm gonna go with home run.
It is a double.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called
Funny enough, it used to be a home run way back in the day. I don't remember when it changed, but it used to be a home run if it went over the fence.
20s?
Like way. Yeah, I think like way back.
Early baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more commonly now called an automatic double. It used to be called a ground rule double, but with other
that's
things.
What I would have called it.
With other things, that's actually more new terminology. They now call it automatic double more often. Because ground rule doubles are more meant to infer about something that we're going to talk about later in this trivia.
So 1929, and then in the American League, and the 20s. National League in 1931. But so before then, any ball that left the field, even on a bounce, was considered a home run. So that was back then.
So you would have been right if we were doing this podcast in 1924 instead of 2024.
Yeah.
You're only 100 years late with that question. All right. Starting question 11, the first of the harder questions. If there is a tie after 9 innings, how many innings are played until the game is called a tie? After the 9th? After the 12th? After the 18th inning, or a game cannot end in a tie? Just nodding your head.
That's what I was going to say. The game can't end in a tie?
Game can't end in a tie. Okay, Cliff?
Game cannot end in a tie.
All right.
Correct. There are no ties in baseball.
He's probably heard me say that plenty of times to know. I think I've said that angrily after you. There are no ties and we can't.
No, I just know this from spending hours after a game should have ended. Just waiting.
That question probably could have been in an easier section, but it's all right.
Free baseball.
So I believe that's now 8-9.
Yes, I
Cliff
think
leading.
so. Yes. What happens when the catcher drops the 3rd strike? The batter is automatically awarded first base. It's strike 3, so the batter's out. The batter is free to run to first. If he's not tagged or thrown out, he's safe. And the strike is, or the strike is turned into a ball.
I'm going to say the batter's free to run to first.
Batter is free to run. Oh, Hey, Laura Grace, what do you think?
I think it's free to run to first.
Very good. I don't know how you do that.
I actually did that once earlier.
Way to sabotage me.
I think she said something about, I think he's out, and I'm like, it is out. So you said it is out?
Oh, I think I did catch that. I was like, oh, good save. I didn't save anything. All right. Well, good job. Yay.
All right. So 9-10. Cliff.
Yes.
All right. Which of the following teams do not currently have stadium-specific rules? A, the Houston Astros. B, the Chicago Cubs. C, the Tampa Bay Rays, or D, the Boston Red Sox? Which of the following teams do not currently have stadium-specific rules?
I'm gonna say the Astros.
Okay, A, the Astros. Cliff?
List them again.
A, the Houston Astros. B, the Chicago Cubs. C, the Tampa Bay Rays. Or D, the Boston Red Sox. Which of these teams do not currently have stadium-specific rules? It's not one of ours, is it?
Oh,
Carl,
no.
I'm going off.
I'm going to also say the Astros.
No.
You're saying A, the Astros?
Yeah.
It is correct. The A,
Okay.
the Astros. So, just a little history here. The Chicago Cubs, their rule is if a ball gets stuck, they have ivy in the outfield. A ball gets stuck inside that ivy, it is an automatic double. The Tampa Bay Rays have three different catwalks.
Yeah.
The first one at the very top, I believe, is an out. The second one is a double, and the third one is a home run, given that they are hitting foul play. But there's also speakers, and those are in play. If it hits a speaker, it's in play.
Stadium. Sorry.
Yeah, it's really dumb. The Boston Red Sox, there is a ladder on their Green Monster. If it hits off of that ladder, it is an automatic double. The Houston Astros currently do not have one. That's why I put in currently. They used to have a rule where if the ball hits off the center light post in center field, that was on a hill in center field.
Oh, I forgot about the hill.
So there used to be a hill in center field. And there was a post that came out of it. If the ball hit off of the post, it is a double. If it was a certain height off above that pole, it was a home run. But they got rid of the hill. They got rid of the post. So they currently do not have any ground rule rules. So that's going back to ground rule doubles. Ground rule doubles are reserved for doubles like at Tampa Bay Rays Stadium, Red Sox Stadium, so that is now a ground rule double where an automatic double refers to a ball bouncing out of play from in play.
Didn't realize the difference. All right.
Good job. Coming down to the last
clapping
two.
Tool. All right. Number 14.
11 to 10.
Yeah. How far is the pitching mound from home plate, Cliff? Is it 55 feet, 60 feet, 6 inches, 70 feet, 75 feet, 9 inches?
I'm going to say 60 feet.
Okay. And Laura Grace.
Did you hear him again?
That won't help.
No.
70 feet, 9 inches.
That's not an answer. You combine two.
Okay, then yes.
75 then.
So it's 55 feet, 60 feet, 6 inches, 70 feet, 75 feet, 9 inches.
Yeah, that one. 75, 9 inches.
It is 60 feet, 6 inches.
Which technically Cliff didn't say 6 inches.
Right. I was wondering if I should say, should I have say the whole thing? Yeah, I knew that's the one you meant. Okay. And then the last
12 to 10. This is just for fun because Cliff already won. All right. What is the following play called? Any fair fly ball, not including a live drive or bunt, which can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort when first and second or first, second, and third base are occupied before 2 men are out. What is this play called? Automatic out, ground rule out, fly out, or infield fly? The whole thing? The answers or the whole thing?
No, not the answers, like the question.
The question. Any fair fly ball, not including a live drive or bunt, which can be caught by an infielder with ordinary effort when first and second or first, second, and third base are occupied before 2 men are out?
Fly out.
So she says C, a fly out. Cliff?
Infield fly rule.
Infield fly rule. That is correct.
Yeah.
So
Don't
the
worry,
infield
Laura
fly
Grace.
rule, the reason I threw that in as the last one, the infield fly rule is up there probably with offsides in soccer.
It's true.
It's
It's
very
up to
confusing.
interpretation of what is ordinary effort. It's up to...
And people always forget that first base, like if there's only someone on first base, there can't be an infield fly.
Right. Even though that doesn't make
What is considered
sense.
a line drive? What, obviously bunt is not hard to figure out, but what's considered a line drive? What's considered ordinary effort? The fact that they don't include first base. It's such a convoluted rule, but it's the most similar thing to offsides.
Yeah, the reason the rule exists is so that a player can't. So, you've got to run around first and second and less than 2 outs. And you got to pop fly to the shortstop and they could catch it in their sleep, but they let it fall in front of them so that they could get 2 outs, a quick double play when normally, so it's to prevent that kind of thing.
Which was why I don't understand why first base doesn't make sense. So
if there are umpires that actually watch this that want to comment if they know why, because I've never understood. Yeah, right. I need to call in from Betty. I don't know. I've never understood why, if there's a runner only on first, less than 2 outs, why infield fly doesn't apply. But but it doesn't.
Do you understand that ruling? Do you? Okay, so this is why you're here. So to be able to tell us what we're saying.
Are we saying it clear?
Are we saying enough? So when you have a runner on base, if they are on, so let's just make it easy, first base, just one person on first base. Let's put you on first base. I'm batting. I hit the ball onto the ground. You must run to second, because I need to go to first. We cannot occupy first at the same time. So you have to go from first to second base. If I were to hit the ball in the air, you do not run, because if you are off the base when the ball is caught, they can throw it to the base you're at and you're out. So if a ball is hit weakly into the infield, you have to kind of stay near first base because they're so close. If they let the ball just drop to the ground, now you are in a position where you have to run to second, even though you were expecting it to be caught. Right. And so basically they can let the ball fall. They throw it to second base. Second baseman
easy
throws it to first. They get you and I both out because they tricked. That's what doesn't make sense about only first. My only guess is that they feel that the batter, in the time it would take for a pop-up to come up and down, that by the time they were to do the deke, they are not going to be able to complete the double play in time for that. That's my only guess. If you're on second and first, the guy going to second, or going from second to third,
they both have to hold up.
Yeah, they both have to hold up, whereas the batter doesn't.
Fine.
That's my only guess. I've never really seen it happen, so it must be the players are fast enough to be able to. The batter gets to first base before that would.
Yeah, and then you'll have some umpires that won't call the infield fly rule if the infielder's feet are on the grass, which also makes no sense because the grass is
now their feet aren't allowed on the grass anyway. Or you mean during the play?
During the play. So they had to go
sometimes
into the
then they
quote
call it
outfield.
When it's all the way into the outfield too.
Right. So it's up for interpretation on what is quote ordinary effort. That is such a big interpretation that it makes so many people. I mean, I guess it's not as egregious as some other kind of judgment calls that baseball has plenty of, but it can make some people mad if
it makes people mad just because of how confusing it is. And I think that's part of it. And there is no general definition. And if it's a can of corn
one, it's, okay, fine. But yeah.
But I have seen plays where they've called a infield fly when the shortstop has backtracked 50 feet into the outfield and can't see the ball and it drops down. They call that an infield fly. And then I've also
Yeah.
seen it where they don't call an infield fly when they're only 2 feet into the outfield. And again, it goes into what's a line drive, what's not a line drive as well. So there's so many different parts of it that can get confusing. Even as I read it to you, it sounded confusing, and so I felt that
It's the hardest question.
The hardest one.
it was best linear to the offsides rule that
That's true.
Ted Lasso struggles with
Plenty
during
of
his
judgment
career.
call in there. Yeah, very true.
So,
All
right. I think we are now past time.
Yes, just
so definitely thank you to our baseball dummies, but super smart and everything else, Cliff and LG.
Yes. Yes, thank you for
for entertaining and joining
for entertaining us. Yes,
Thanks
yes.
for having us.
Yeah. Well, until next time, maybe there'll be some better Yankee news our way, and Ryan can let us know where to follow us so you can see.
Keep, I don't know if you're watching us on Spotify or listening to us on Spotify or watching us on YouTube, but definitely hit the subscribe and notification buttons on those pages to keep up to date. And catch us every Wednesday, assuming we stick on schedules like we did this week.
Yeah, we did it.
And keep tabs on Instagram, X, otherwise known as Twitter, and Threads at @DamnYanks_pod, and on Facebook at @DamnYanksPod. Again, thank you to all the people listening to us. Hope you had fun with us, kind of talking a little bit about Ted Lasso and Boone and some of the other updates. Hopefully the market gets heated back up and we get to see some more moves being made. Hopefully the Yankees are in some of those moves and the Dodgers are not anymore.
Yeah, the Dodgers can sit out now. Yes, agreed. I need to round out that bullpen and some more pitching. But yeah, so until next time, see ya.